Hey guys, welcome to the channel. In this video, we're going to take you through the different neighborhoods within Canmore.
Along the way, we'll talk about some benefits, some things to note, the average sale price, and the different types of property in each neighborhood.
Ultimately, we're creating this video so we can best educate you on what the best neighborhood is going to be for you and your family, and what neighborhoods are out of the question for you. So let's take you around Canmore.
So up first, we're going to drive up to the north side of the valley, where we've got the neighborhoods of Cougar Creek, Canyon, Grotto, and Lady McDonald.
These communities feature a variety of different property styles, from single-family homes, townhouses, manufactured homes, apartments, and the average sale price in the last year for these communities was coming in at just over $826,000.
So we're here along Cougar Creek, separating the neighborhoods of Cougar Creek and Lady McDonald. This pathway is like many pathways in the town of Canmore. One of the best benefits of this one is you can get into downtown core without going on any major roads. Just take a look at these fantastic views.
Some of the benefits about these communities that we're talking about is the fantastic sun exposure on this side of the valley. Also is the family orientatedness of these communities. They have awesome fenced yards, which is something that's unique to these areas and not necessarily something that's popular all over Canmore. So it's great if you have young children or pets. And also behind me is Elizabeth Rummel School, which is K-6, and it is one of the great schools that Canmore has to offer. I'm sitting here in the retail area for the Cougar Creek community, which features Red Rock Pizza, a liquor store, Fergie's Grocery and Bakery, and behind me, Summit Cafe, which is my absolute favorite spot for breakfast here in Canmore. We're also just steps away from the Canmore Commercial District.
Some of the things to note of these neighborhoods is it is more established, so you are going to find some homes that have been upgraded. But there are a lot of homes in here that are requiring some updates, so it's something to think about if you're looking at purchasing here.
Up next, we're headed just across the street to one of my favorite neighborhoods in all of Canmore, and that's the community of Benchlands.
While Benchlands is strictly a residential area with predominantly larger homes, the second terrace does have some row townhouses. The average sale price in here was just over 1.8 million.
The benefits to the Benchlands community is, again, it's going to be the awesome sun exposure that we have on this side of the valley. Also, it has some of the best views in all of Canmore. And one of the other benefits as well is the trail system. It's super accessible to get down into the downtown core, and it also is such a small community, so it's very easy to navigate around.
I'm at the Village at Eagle Crossing, another retail place up in this neighborhood. Behind us is a cellar door. It's a wine place. We got a mortgage place, the Chocolatier, and the Iron Goat. The Iron Goat is a fantastic restaurant that allows you to have a beer on the patio and take advantage of some great views. We're now headed up to Eagle Terrace. Eagle Terrace is the bench between Benchlands and Silvertip. This community is unique in that it is occupied by some of the Canmore locals.
Yeah, great point. One of the things to build off of that too is it's predominantly a residential neighborhood. So majority of the properties in here are going to be single family homes, while we do also have some townhouses. And the average sale price that we've had here in the last year is coming in at just shy of 1.55 million. This is the field and playground area to the Eagle Terrace neighborhood. It also features a fantastic spot for kids to come tobogganing during the winter season. Some of the other benefits is that there's minimal tourism and it's a very quiet residential community of Canmore with great views and sun exposure all year round.
One of the things to note about the Eagle Terrace community is while it's not as well known as the south side of the valley for mountain biking, some of the best mountain biking in the valley is on the north side of the community, or north side of the valley.
Before we exit the Eagle Terrace neighborhood, it's important for you to know that the parking lot that's located right behind me and next to the entrance into Eagle Terrace can get quite congested and very busy during the summer season, especially on weekends. And that's because it's the base to the Grotto Mountain and Lady McDonald hikes. It's also a popular spot for people to come and park when they're looking to do some mountain biking on this side of the valley.
We're heading up to the top bench on the north side of the valley, which is called Silvertip. The homes up here are very pristine with custom architectural design and one of the most expensive neighborhoods in the valley.
Yeah, great point. I think this area is predominantly known for being larger single-family homes. While there is an apartment complex, that's mainly what it's known for, with an average sale price coming in at just shy of $2 million. Now, before we get into the benefits, let's talk about a few of the things to note about this area.
Well, I think because the homes are very expensive, it limits, there's a lot of second homes up here for one, and two, it limits the amount of small or families with small children.
Yeah.
So the second thing would be, because it's so far from downtown and with the big hill, it's tough to walk or even bike downtown.
Mm-hmm. If you're looking to live up here and you do want to avoid driving, then we would definitely recommend getting an e-bike. With being on the top bench of the valley, some of the benefits to living up in the Silvertip community is that these mountain estate homes are going to have phenomenal views and sun exposure that is going to be second to none. It is also a very private and exclusive quiet area that is away from tourism and the downtown core.
One of the highlights to the Silvertip community is that it is home to the Silvertip Golf Course. This golf course is not only world-renowned, but is also home to two great restaurants, one of Bow Valley's best wedding venues and $1 million wine cellar.
Before we exit the Silvertip neighborhood, we feel it's important to talk to you guys about the new planning that's coming to this community. Behind me here is going to be the new development phase, which is going to feature some exclusive single-family home lots. Okay, so our next community on the list is going to be moving into the valley floor, and that's going to be right in the heart of Canmore, and it's going to be Spring Creek. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the Spring Creek and the history?
So the Spring Creek development has been in the family, well, not necessarily the development, but the land's been in the family, the Kernick family, for, you know, a lot of years, going way, way back. And Frank Kernick decided in 2006 to develop the land, and there's different types of properties in there, from a 65 plus building, a 40 plus building. There's some visitor accommodation buildings, there's some residential condo buildings, there's some townhouses, and also there are some single family prestige homes.
Yeah, and I think it's really kind of a hidden gem of Canmore. I don't even want to say hidden because it's right downtown, but it's got 50 acres of developable land from the start. It's got over 3 kilometers of creek, and the average sale price in this community is coming in at just under 1.1 million.
So I'm standing outside here down in Spring Creek of the Alder Cafe and Grocery. We've got the Coming Soon Bridget Bar. One of the highlights to this community is the access to dining, shopping, wellness and beauty, and event spaces.
I'm standing here on one of the many bridges that the Spring Creek neighborhood has to offer, which crosses Spring Creek or Policeman's Creek. One of the benefits to this community is the easy access that you have to the downtown core, just being steps away. And with maintenance managed by Spring Creek Resort, it truly gives you that resort destination feel. And one thing to note too is that the highway access from this community is just fantastic.
I'm sitting at the patio of the Sterling restaurant at the Prestige Malcolm Hotel. The views to the south are absolutely stunning. Behind me is going to be 2 boutique hotels that are going to be in construction in the next couple of years. One of the features of the Spring Creek development is an opera house. There's a replica of the opera house that was built in 1898 that is on the property. Something to note too with the Spring Creek development is there is a small HOA fee. What that does is it covers the maintenance of the grounds and it gives you the feel of an absolute resort.
For more information on future developments for the Spring Creek neighborhood, check out the link in the description below. We'll also have some more information on the Canmore Opera House. Our next neighborhood on the list, while remaining on the valley floor, is going to be the community of South Canmore, which primarily consists of single family and townhomes.
We do see some 4-plexes and 5-plexes down here. While South Canmore is a really sought after neighborhood, the average sale price in the last year was $1.14 million.
I'm here in Centennial Park, which is adjacent to the Canmore Preschool and Lawrence Grassy Middle School. South Canmore is super awesome for people who are living here, who are looking to access the amenities and the downtown area. It's great for people who enjoy walking or who are working in the core and want that simple commute.
So we're at another park here in South Canmore called Millennium Park. It has some features like a ball diamond, a football and soccer field. There's also a bike park behind me with awesome access to the iconic Bow River.
Some of the things to note about the South Canmore community is that it can be difficult to get in and out of the area if you're looking to do so by vehicle, and that's going to be in the summertime when Main Street is closed. The other thing to note is that there are some alleyways in this neighborhood that are not paved, as you can see here, and there are some power lines that are not buried and they can obstruct your views. So the next neighborhood we're going to take you to is going to be the communities of Lions Park and Larch.
I really like these 2 communities specifically for the quietness that it provides. It's also really close and accessible to downtown, and it's a fantastic family-oriented community.
Yeah, that's a great point. And I think with the average sale price coming in at just under $1 million, it does offer a variety of different styles of properties, anywhere from townhomes to some apartment complexes, as well as some single-family homes.
So I'm at the entrance of the Canmore Golf and Curling Club. This is a place where I choose to golf along with a lot of my friends. You can walk the course and you got some really good views. The restaurant in this clubhouse has fantastic views as well as great food, so we choose to eat here quite a bit. There's a high school here, the Canmore Collegiate. There's a rec center, also a skate park. Both my daughters are at the high school. One teaches and one obviously goes to school. She's graduating this year.
Some of the other benefits to the Lions Park and Larch community is the fantastic trail system that they have here. Whether you're walking, biking, or commuting, it is truly one of the best in town. There's also some great river access for people who do live in these areas, and there's also a unique factor here where there's an outdoor rink in the winter, a sport court in the summer, and they also have some tennis courts for those tennis players.
So we're heading over to Teepee Town now. In Teepee Town, we're seeing a lot of redevelopment. It's really close to downtown. You'll see some visitor accommodation, some commercial, and some residential. It's also quite close to the Canmore Hospital, with it being right next door. What do you see, Parker, from average sale price going on in Teepee Town the last year?
Yeah, I mean, the average sale price in the last year is coming in at just shy of 1.2 million. I do think it's a unique community. We do see a variety of different demographics that live there. So let's take you into Teepee Town. Some of the things to note about the Teepee Town community is it is one of the older, more higher density areas of Canmore. And although we are seeing lots of redevelopment happening here, as you can see behind me with new fourplex units, some of them are zoned for visitor accommodation along 2nd Ave. And the last thing to be aware of is the highway. It runs just over here, and so there can be a little bit of noise if you're residing here.
So a couple of benefits to Teepee Town are, Teepee Town's obviously right here behind or in front of me. Behind me is downtown. So we've got the local grocery stores, 2 of them, Canadian Tire, we've got Elevation Place. There's lots of access to the downtown. You can see we have to cross the tracks, which can be a negative for some people, although Teepee Town is a ways away from it. So you are kind of right in the core of the downtown.
Okay, so now we're gonna be taking you guys off of the valley floor and moving on to the south side of the valley.
So up first we have Hospital Hill and Rundleview. This is a strictly residential area with an average sale price in the last year of 1.3 million. So I'm up outside the Canmore Nordic Centre, which is just above Hospital Hill and Rundleview. So the Canmore Nordic Centre was developed in 1988 for the Winter Olympics. It's one of the only Nordic centres in the world that is operational today. There's tons of activities you can do up here, from cross-country skiing in the winter to biking, whether it's leisurely biking or mountain biking. There's some fantastic trails up here at the Nordic Centre.
One of the other benefits to these communities and a lot of the communities on the south side of the valley is the access to the Quarry Lake. It's an old surface mine that was developed in the late 60s and early 70s. Lots of people come up here to walk on the amazing trails, whether they're bringing their dog to the off-leash dog park or just coming to sit by the lake.
So next, on the south side of the valley, we're going to head up into the neighborhoods of Prospects, Homestead, and Peaks of Grassy.
Yeah, I think one of the things to note about this community is that it's strictly residential, and as you get farther away from the Bow River, so up into the Peaks of Grassy area, it does become a little bit more higher density living. And the average sale price in these neighborhoods is coming in at just over 1.2 million in the last year.
Let's take you down to some of the nicer houses on the river. So as you can see here, there's lots of beautiful houses here down on the river. One of the benefits of being, or a couple of the benefits of being up here, is how quiet it is. You've got the river, but you've got this trail system that leads into downtown. If you want to get downtown, whether it's on a bike or walk, it is a little bit longer of a walk, but you get the serenity of being in the mountains, the feel of how quiet it is and how just how beautiful it is, and the mountains in the background. It truly is a fantastic place.
I'm standing up here at the Peaks of Grassy neighborhood, and I wanted to point out some things to note about this neighborhood specifically. One is that obviously it's a little bit more higher density, as you can see behind me. 2 is that the sun exposure can be a little bit limited when comparing to the north side of the valley, depending on the time of year and time of day. And 3 is the fact that the highway accessibility is the farthest from this community in all of Canmore.
Okay, now we're going to head up to the top tier of the south side of the valley, which is Three Sisters Mountain Village. It's the largest community inside of Canmore.
Yeah, I think there's a few things that make it unique. One is it's one of the only places inside of Canmore that has remaining developable land. And two, it does feature more of the newer, modern architectural style of homes that the town does have to offer. Do you maybe want to touch on what the average sale price was in the last year?
Yeah, for sure. So the average sale price in the last year was 1.1 million. So another thing to note up here that you're going to see is that there are some single family homes as well as townhouses and half duplexes, and even some apartment condo units.
Totally, and it's strictly residential.
Absolutely. One of the benefits to living up in this neighborhood of Three Sisters is the Stewart Creek Golf Course. It is a world-renowned golf course that is semi-private, so if you are public, you can come play here. There's also some fantastic, beautiful homes that back onto the course, specifically hole number 10.
One of the benefits to the Three Sisters community is it's also situated in close proximity to the Catholic school, which is Our Lady of the Snows. Not only is it home to many local students of Canmore, but it also features a sport court in the summer and ice rink in the winter. The community also offers frisbee golf. Some of the things to note if you plan on living in Three Sisters Mountain Village is the sun exposure. Obviously today it's a beautiful day, but depending on the time of day, obviously later on in the evenings and the time of year, it can be a little bit limited. It's also difficult to access amenities and the downtown core from this area. And although that does offer great privacy, it can be something that is a negative to some people. And however, although this is the case, it is planning on changing as there is some development occurring right now to provide amenities to the people that reside in this community. Thanks for watching our Canmore neighborhood video. If you have any questions about living in Canmore or you want some more information on these neighborhoods specifically, be sure to reach out to us. We're happy to help.
And stay tuned for some upcoming videos on some of the communities that surround Canmore.
See you next time.